Hey, what's up, Chef Jesse here. Uncle Jesse. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas. Doesn't feel like Christmas because I expect it to be a white Christmas, but I haven't seen one of those in years. Anyway, folks, it is Christmas, and yesterday was Christmas Eve. People went out partying. I hope everybody stays safe and stuff like that. I stood home. I had some people over, and we were, we had a good time. Yeah, we hanged out for a while and everything. So anyway, today I'm going to be cooking some. It's called chicken Lombardi. It's I guess it's an Italian American dish. Some people say that it was invented by Olive Garden. I don't know, but I'm gonna cook it tonight. It's good. It's similar to chicken Mozzarella. You'll see when I'm preparing it, but it's drizzled with cheese, with a lot of cheese, and then and green onions, and it's put into the oven to bake. So you're gonna see how I do that. I'm also gonna be doing a salad on the side of tomato salad that I've done before. You guys have seen it, and then we're gonna have some pasta, some like macaroni pasta with cheese to accommodate the chicken. So stay with me. I'm gonna show you how I do the tomatoes first. So I take a tomato and I start to slice it. I always like to take that end off with that little thing. I don't know, something about me. Anyway, I'm gonna cut these things into. I'm gonna cube the tomatoes, okay? And when I mean the cubes, you'll see what I do. I cut them in cubes, all right? Okay. So make sure you have a nice sharp knife. And okay. So I'm gonna cut these down. Okay, like so. Look at that. Okay, spin it around. There you go. There you go. There you go. And there you go. Okay. Okay, I have a plate here on the side. Put the tomatoes in here. Okay. And we almost, I'll show you. So folks, there goes my tomatoes, right? I chopped it up, cubes. I put some olive oil in there. I put about maybe 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Now I got some fresh cilantro. And I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna take the bush here, I'm gonna cut up the cilantro. It smells delicious. Nothing like fresh herbs and spices, okay? So chop this up, chop it up as best you can. Use a good knife, okay? And just chop it up, bring it up again, and just keep chopping it up, okay? And you're gonna add this to your tomatoes, okay? There you go. I don't know how much I put in there. I just adjust. If you need more, you can put more. Got a whole bush here. Okay. So I got my olive oil. I got my tomatoes. I got my cilantro. I'm gonna put some sea salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm gonna add some garlic, just a little, because I love garlic. So I'm just gonna put about a half a teaspoon of garlic. And then I'm gonna mix this up, and it's gonna be mixed up. That's it. Very simple. Okay, there you go. I'll put this in the fridge, before you eat it, and then for a little while, chill it, and it's delicious. It is delicious. I'm telling you. It smells delicious. The garlic, the cilantro. You should be here. I'm telling you. So, folks, I'm gonna be cooking some mushrooms first. I'm gonna brown my mushrooms in 2 tablespoons of butter, and I put some olive oil in there, about a teaspoon of olive oil. And the reason for that, the olive oil prevents the butter from burning. So, so I put my butter in there, I put my olive oil in there, and I'm gonna warm up my skillet, and in a second I'll show you how it's done. So folks, let me start browning my mushrooms, and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, there you go. There goes the skillet. It's nice and hot. You got the butter in there, I got the olive oil in there so it won't burn. And it's starting to sizzle, so I'm going to put my mushrooms. I got about a half a cup here, about a cup of mushrooms. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to brown them, saute them in butter, brown them, and then I'm going to take them out and put them to the side, and then I'm going to start cooking my chicken. So brown the mushrooms first. This gives the pan some flavoring, and then you put the chicken in, and you're going to saute the chicken. I'm going to drizzle the chicken with flour. And I'm going to cook it in there, and I'm going to also take the chicken out and put it to the side. And then I'm going to prepare my gravy. I'm going to be using some chicken stock, some butter, and some flour. I'm going to thicken up the gravy, and then I'm going to return everything back into the pan, cook it for a while, and stick it into the oven, and let it bake for what, 15, 20 minutes or so until the cheese is melted. So stay tuned, you'll see how this is done. Now you can see my mushrooms are browned and nice cooked. I don't want to overcook them because they get soggy, so this is just about done. And I'm going to take them out and put them to the side. Okay, just going to put this in the dish here to the side. And then I'm going to start cooking in the same, whatever's left in there is my chicken. And I have to drizzle my chicken in flour, and I'll show you how that's done in just a minute. Okay, so there goes my mushrooms. So folks, I got my butter. I got 2 tablespoons of butter, and I got some olive oil in there. I got about 2 tablespoons this time of olive oil. And that's to prevent the butter from burning. And what I'm doing, I'm going to get this nice and hot, and I'm going to stir fry, or saute the chicken in this. And then when it's cooked halfway, or whatever it is, I'm going to put it in the plate. And then I'm going to start making my gravy, which will be consistent. I'll put some flour in there, some chicken broth, some flour, thicken it up, and then I'm going to return the chicken, the mushrooms, and then I'm going to put cheese, and I'm going to put some green onions on top. And I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to bake it in the oven. This whole pan the skillet goes into the oven. This is great. This is like a 1 skillet dinner, which is great. You prepare everything, you cook everything, 1 skillet, that's it. And you put this in the oven. Make sure you have a skillet that's oven proof. This is all metal. This is Emerald Lagasse, and the handles, everything's a metal. So this goes right into the oven and cooks it up. So stay tuned. Oh, right here. Let's start doing this chicken here. There you go. Okay. So we can raise the flame on that a bit. Try not to crowd the chicken. I have about, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these chickens. So I don't want to crowd it. So I'm putting them little by little. I'm going to put 4 pieces that fit in here. Okay. I'm just going to let them cook on one side, and I'm going to flip it over and make sure that it's cooked thoroughly. I flatten these out as much as possible. And then I'm going to set them aside and then continue cooking the rest of the plate. Well, folks, the moments we've been all waiting for. I'm going to start making the gravy. So I'm using chicken broth. I think it's chicken broth. Better be chicken broth. Okay, chicken broth. This is a 14-ounce can. I'm going to use about half, more or less. Okay. There we go. So that's going to be my gravy. Okay, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm going to whip it around. Put some flour, and then this is going to create my gravy. Okay, so let's return this. Let's return this up to a boil. Okay. And let's start making the gravy. Okay. As this simmers, it will start to turn into gravy. I'm using some flour here. Okay. And I'm just spraying some flour little by little so I can get the right consistency for the gravy. I don't want too much. I don't want it too thick. But I don't want it too watery, obviously, right? So as you can see, as I'm whipping this up, it's starting to thicken up. Okay. And I don't want any lumps in there, so I'm making sure that it's constantly moving it. Okay, this is just like chicken marsala, actually. I'm going to put some white wine in there because I don't have any marsala wine, but white wine is good. So I'm going to use about, let's see, we'll measure this. We'll use about, let's see, about a quarter of white wine. Okay, that should give it a good flavor. White wine, if you have marsala wine is great for cooking, and I use it to make my chicken marsala. But of course my bootleg supermarket doesn't have it, so I'll settle for white wine. Actually, it smells good. The aromas smell very good. So I keep whipping this up and making sure that it doesn't, and as it simmers, it's going to start thickening up into a gravy, so stay tuned. So folks, I'm stirring and I'm getting my gravy nice and thick. It thickened up at 1.2 thick, so I put some more chicken broth. You can add or subtract, but depending how you want the gravy. This is looking great. It's simmering, so it's starting to thick up. If you want it more thicker, you put some flour in it. Make sure you beat it right away because you'll get lumps. But this looks good. this looks good. In a few more minutes, I'm going to add the chicken and the mushrooms. And we're going to be putting this in the oven at 350 for about maybe 20 minutes or so, just until the cheese melts. And there goes your gravy. And as it simmers, it gets thicken up. It thickens up. It thickens up. So stay tuned. So it looks like my... Okay, I'm going to put some mushrooms in here. In the bottom. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to let that simmer in there a bit. And then I'm going to start putting in my chicken. Okay. I hope all this chicken fits in it, because it wasn't fitting before, but we'll try to fit it here as much as possible. So I slowly put my chicken in there. And let's see, we arrange it nice. And it's cooking. You can see the sauce getting all simmering. And this looks great. Okay, there you go. This looks great, smells great. There you go. I got one more piece of chicken left. Let's see if we can find a spot for it. There you go. And then we'll put some more mushrooms on the top. Okay. Okay, let's get this out of the way here. Sure. So there goes, it's simmering now. I let it simmer for 5 minutes or so. Okay. I want some of this sauce. I want some of this gravy on top to cover up the chicken. Okay. Look at that. So let's turn the flame off. I got my chicken. I'm gonna let this cool off for about a couple minutes, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. So folks, this is a very the chicken is done. I let it cool down a bit. Now I'm gonna put cheese on it. Okay, this is a very cheesy dish for those who are, can't take cheese and take lactose intolerant. Well, this ain't the dish for you. Or you can do it, just eat the cheese out, or maybe a substitute cheese you guys use. But for us normal people, just kidding. I'm using shredded mozzarella cheese. Okay, I'm gonna cover this whole thing. I used about a whole. I think this was 2 cups or more. 2 cups, I think, or more than that. And this is it. This is my mozzarella cheese, and this is all gonna melt. It's going into the oven. So everything was done in one pot. Look at that. This goes into the oven at 350, 20 minutes or so until the cheese melts, and then we're ready. So let's put this in the oven. Let's put the timer on, and we'll come back in 20 minutes and you'll see how it looks, folks. Actually, I forgot to put the green onions. Okay, so you put the cheese, put the green onions, and the green onions is gonna, look at that color, look at this. So this is all gonna melt together. Okay, so I chopped up some green onions there. I don't know how much, but just enough to cover this up. Okay, and then everything's gonna mix in there. Now it's ready. Now we're ready. Put the cover back into the oven. 20 minutes, and I will see you here in 20 minutes. Well, folks, the moment, first of all, let me show you mine. The moment everyone's been waiting for, the chicken Lombardi. Let's do a recap. Chicken Lombardi, very similar to my chicken Mozzarella. The only thing, it's finished off in the oven with the gravy and everything, and mozzarella cheese and green onions on top. So it's supposed to be a Italian-American dish. Some say that Olive Garden created it, that it's not original from Italy, but whatever it is, it's called Lombardi. So with a name like Lombardi, hey. So let's go to the oven and let's take this out, because it's been in the oven for about 20 minutes. Oh yeah, and it's hot. Look at this. Look at that, folks. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Look at that. And the chicken is somewhere in there. We gotta look for it. But isn't that great? Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look delicious? I'm telling you. I'm gonna turn this camera around here. And let's turn this camera. So there goes my chicken Lombardi. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. I don't know where to start, but we're gonna get the chicken out of there somehow. So I got some chicken. I made some shells. Put some cheese in it, some bacon bits in it. So we can have some pasta, some shells with cheese, bacon. Gonna have the chicken Lombardi, and we have some tomatoes I chopped up and made into a salad. Okay, so stay tuned. We're gonna go to the table. So folks, the chicken Lombardi is done and it looks great at the table and it smells good. It's got a lot of flavor, the mushroom and the cheese and the green onions and all the other spice. So let's turn around and show you. So this is my pasta that I made some shells and I added some cheese and some bacon bits in there. And there goes the main course right here. Okay, so there goes the chicken Lombardi, similar to chicken Mozzarella, but it's finished off in the oven with cheese and onions on top. This is my my special, one of my special side dishes here. Salad. It's just chopped up onion, chopped up cilantro with tomatoes, olive oil, and some sea salt and some garlic. And it's very refreshing, very good. I make it often. There goes another plate. And this is it, folks. This is Christmas Day dinner. Okay. So yeah, so no ham and no turkey and that stuff. This is what we're eating today. That's it. Crazy night last night with guests in the house, and today it'll be more quieter. Anyway, and back to work tomorrow. Yeah, Sunday. Tomorrow's my Monday. Yeah, I know how it is. Anyway, folks, with that said, hope you guys, if you did go and enjoy yourself, I hope you guys stay safe because this stuff is getting out of hand. I just had a friend of mine that just texted me and told me he came down with it and he tested positive for COVID. Oh my God. So anyway, folks, with that said, I hope you guys remain safe. You gotta wear your mask. You gotta get that booster shot. You gotta get your shots and everything. Yeah, you gotta be an adult. And you gotta take responsibility for yourself. And you have to do what you gotta do. If not for you, for mankind. I'm telling you. So watch the news. And of course, people say, "Oh, the numbers are being racked up." No, they're not. They're not. They're not. So anyway, folks, with that said, I'm gonna get out of that because I don't want to get into it. But chicken Lombardi tonight. If you go out tonight, stay safe. Wear your mask and all that good stuff. I'm gonna stay home. I'm tired. I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna have a couple of beers. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna have a couple of beers at home. Okay, and then next week is the crazy week, the end of the year, and then we start it all over again. So can't wait for this thing to be over with all this hassle and visitors in town and all that. And you know me and the tourist. No comment. Anyway, folks, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we got meatloaf, which is great for the next day to take to lunch, and that's why I'm doing it. And I'm gonna show you how to make the meatloaf. There's about 1,001 ways to make meatloaf, but you're gonna see how I make it. And see you guys later. Ciao.